Hello everyone, my name is Greg Olney, and I'm here to teach you about how to save for the future. In this webisode of my personal finance series, we'll be discussing 5 brief topics which all build on each other. How money grows, time frames for investing, what vehicles to use, market fluctuation, and retirement planning. So get excited and try to enjoy yourself along the way. Now let's learn how investing smart pays off. Here's a graph of 2 different investors. They're both putting away $50 a month, but they bought completely different things. Investor A bought a bunch of shares, and from the day he bought them, all they did was go up in value over the next 6 months. Investor B also bought shares. From the day he purchased them, they went down in value for 4 months, and then they climbed back up to practically where they started. Now, which investor would you want to be? Most people would say the blue one. This is the wrong answer, and this is why. What are we trying to do? We're trying to make money. We want our money to work as hard as it can. At the end of these 6 months, we want to have as much money as possible. Because investors A's stock purchase were always increasing in value, they slowly became more expensive. If you look at the numbers on the bottom, you will see that the amount of shares Investor A was able to purchase each month went down. Month 1, Investor A's $50 investment brought him 6.25 shares, and in month 6, the same $50 only bought him 2.78 shares. Investor B, on the other hand, was able to buy shares at a cheaper price. Because of this, at the end of the 6-month period, Investor A had 24.9 shares with a value of $448.20. Investor B had 98.1 shares worth $613.36. So in the same period of time, the investor B was buying things when they were on sale. What most people do when the market is doing poorly is they stop investing or pull out altogether. My hope for you is that you learn to invest in the market based on time frames, not what the market is doing. This coined phrase for investing a fixed amount regularly, regardless of what the market is doing, is called a dollar cost averaging. Now let's go back a slide. Let me ask you 2 questions. Mr. Average Investor is putting away $100 a month into this mutual fund in 2000. What is the common action taken by Mr. Average Investor in years 2001 and 2002? A. Back out of the market. B. Stop contributing. C. Keep investing the same. Or D. Increase the contributions. The answer is probably A or B. Back out of the market or stop contributing. This is what most uneducated investors do. Now another investor, Mrs. Educated Investor, is also putting away $100 a month into this mutual fund during the same time period. What is her action going to consist of? A. Back out of the market. B. Stop contributing. C. Keep investing the same using dollar cost averaging. Or D. Increase the contributions. The answer is C or D. Keep investing the same by using dollar cost averaging, or increasing contributions because she is a thrifty shopper and knows a good deal when she sees one. All right, one last analogy, then I'm done. Choosing a mutual fund is like getting married. In order to pick a spouse, it's good to do a few things first. You need to understand your likes and dislikes. You need to go on as many dates as you need to understand your potential spouse. Once you see your future with that person, then you can get married and save for better or worse. No marriage is perfect. It's always a roller coaster. When times are bad, you should invest into the relationship to make it better. If the marriage fails, both parties suffer financially. Oh, by the way, the marriage commitment is based on a time frame, not how the other person is treating you at the moment. This is also true when you choose a mutual fund. You must first understand your emotions when investing. Am I okay with a lot or a little risk? You also need to go on a few appointments with your advisor or read some articles and understand the funds you're choosing. You then can commit to a certain fund because you see what is aligned with your future goals. You must then save for better or worse. No mutual fund is perfect. It will always be a roller coaster. When times are bad, you should invest into the funds to reap the rewards of when it gets better. If you quit investing, it will hurt you financially. Oh, and by the way, when you commit to a fund, it's based on a time frame, not how it's performing at the moment. Now let's move on. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground, but how much money do I need for retirement? This depends on you. There are a few different factors we need to address. The first is making your money last. No one ever has a dream of retiring and being forced to go back to work because all their money is run out. And let's face it, people are living longer in retirement than ever before. Because of this, you should only take out about 5% of your nest egg each year. This will allow your longevity in retirement, an inheritance for your children, and still allow your income to keep up with inflation. The next factor is how much income do you want to receive per year? Hypothetically, if you had all your debt paid off and the little ones have left the nest, how much income would you want coming in this year if you were to retire? Let's pretend it was $50,000 a year. How large of a retirement fund would you need? Remember, in retirement, you want your yearly income withdrawals to be only 5% of your retirement fund. To calculate how much money you would need to retire today, take today's income goal, which is $50,000, and divide it by the withdrawal rate of 0.05. Now you know that if you were to retire today, you would need $1 million in your retirement fund. Now let's figure out how many years you have left until you plan on retiring. Let's pretend it was 30 years until you wanted to retire. Because of this, we need to adjust for 30 years of inflation. So we take today's retirement fund, $1 million, and multiply it by the amount of years until we retire, which is 30, as well as by the inflation, 0.04. Then add the original retirement, $1 million. Now that inflation has been dealt with, we know that in 30 years you would need $2.2 million to retire. P.S. The new 5% withdrawal rate in 30 years is $110,000. So figure out your personal income goals during retirement and do the math for yourself. Keep in mind, this is only a rough calculation. It's designed to give you a basic picture of your future needs. Now you know how much you need saved at retirement. But how much do you need to be contributing into your investment account? This graph should give you a basic idea to help you with your investment strategy. From the previous example, take how many years till you plan on retiring and how much savings you need. Then line them up on the graph. Whatever amount is lined up on the left is how much you should be saving a month. If your monthly savings amount would be a financial burden, consider picking up more hours, cutting back, or moving retirement back a few more years. In the previous example, you wanted to retire in 30 years with a retirement fund of $2.2 million. To do this, you would need to invest between $600 and $700 a month. If this was too hefty a burden, try retiring in 40 years. If you recalculate, you will need $2.6 million in retirement. But now, you could do that with an easier $250 a month. Remember, time is a huge factor when we're planning for retirement. So get started as early as possible. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation of how to save for your future. If you fell asleep, you'll wake up at the snap of my fingers. Welcome back. To learn about similar or related financial topics, please stay tuned. And please remember to rate and subscribe below, or the kitty gets it. Just kidding. If you would like to comment or have a subject covered, please write or email below. For help concerning all your financial goals, you can reach my personal friend and consultant, Thomas Johnson, at 877-815-1907. Happy investing.